Hello friends, welcome to BSc Agriculture. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So let's move to the video. In this video, we are going to see about productive cultivation and secondary agriculture. So I am going to tell you about the topic, the irrigation system in greenhouses. So it also comprises of the different methods of watering system as well as the rules of watering. So let's move to the video. I am going to give you the short definition for the as well as the introduction for the irrigation system in greenhouses. So I have already told you the greenhouse is a well-designed structure. So wait a minute. So in this well-designed structure, a well-defined irrigation system is said to be required for the supplies of precious amount of water needed for each and every day throughout the year. So that's why the quality as well as the quantity of crops produced in the well-defined structure and the weathering conditions are said to be maintained in the greenhouse system. So whether the heating or ventilation system is operated, the quality of water is also changed based on the operation system done in them. So the watering in greenhouses is said to be most frequently one of the major constituent need to be taken in account, so that the loss of crop quality is said to be minimized as well as the quality of production is also good in the well-defined structures. So after that we can able to see about the rules of watering. So there are said to be three most important rules of watering. So the three most important rules of use a well drained substrate with a good structure. So that's why the substrate for the plants can be nourishing one and water thoroughly each time. So the watering must need to be fully occurred on the substrate, so that the time of irrigation can not be more frequent, and the watering must be done before initially moisture stress used to occur. So the watering must need to be once the plant used to require the amount of water, so just before the moisture stress occurs. So that's so the utility of water can be maximized in these structures. So these are the most important three rules of watering, and after that you can able to see about the hand watering. So hand watering is said to be known as the most traditional method of irrigation, which is used in present days are said to be uneconomical due to the laboring cost. So the growers can use it to afford hand operated watering only up to their year or sooner. Once they use it to form seed beds and water selected pots, they use it to have been dry sooner than others. So the grower can able to afford only for these particular conditions like seed bed as well as the selected pots or areas, and drying sooner areas can be offered for hand watering. So the growers cannot able to offer for most of the hand watering is mainly due to the cost is high, the laboring charge is majorly high, and the humans can able to make some mistakes of over watering, or else they can not able to maintain the water holding level up to the moisture stress, so it can be reduce the quality of the crops. So hand water also requires the considerable time, and it is said to be very boring one in these periods. And after that, the perimeter watering. So the hand watering is said to be only the manual one in the greenhouse structure. The other things are always said to be automated or manual operated. So perimeter watering. So these are the watering methods which can be used in crop production in benches as well as in beds. So in perimeter watering, a plastic pipe is said to be placed in the near the beds and branches, and the tops and the nozzles are said to be sprayed over the substrate structure. So for going a pipeline structure, PVC pipes used to have a high advantage of being very stationary, but the polythene pipes used to tend roll, and it cannot if it is not anchored properly in the bench, it can also block the water flow as well as the water pressure in the perimeter watering nozzles. So the PVC pipe used to have an advantage in the perimeter watering, and the nozzles are said to be made up of nylon or hot plastic So they can able to spray at an angle of 180 degree, 90 degree and 45 degree. So the most used common nozzle in perimeter watering is 180 degree nozzle, so which used to require one water valve bench up to a 30.5 meter in length, is a good one for the perimeter watering. And the next one is overhead sprinklers. So the overhead sprinklers cannot be used for all the crops. It can be used only for some of the few wet foliage tolerant crops. So because the overhead sprinklers used to go for more watering in this period, so the disease control purpose cannot be maintained in overhead sprinklers. So the few crops which can be most easily and cheaply be irrigated are used by overhead sprinklers. So it is a good one for bedding plants as well as azalea liners and some green plants which are commonly watered from overheads. So the while seeing about the technique of overhead sprinklers, a pipe is said to be installed in the middle of bed so that the overhead sprinklers can able to water at 360 degree rotation. So the riser pipes are said to be installed periodically to the height wall above the final height of the crop. So the changing of structures doesn't need to be taken. So a total height of 0.6 meter is said to be sufficient for overhead bedding plants, and 1.80 meter for fresh flowers is the major common one. And I have already told you that the nozzle vary from the 360 pattern continuously, so they can able to rotate up to 360 degree circle in the overhead sprinklers. And the next one is boom watering. So boom watering is said to be open, used in both open as well as the closed system of irrigation. It is said to be used often in production of seedlings grown in plug trays. So the plug trays are nothing but they used to have a size as well as dimension of about 30 into 61 centimeter with a depth of 13 to 38 millimeter, so which used to contain around 100 to 800 cells based on the requirement by the farms. So the boom watering used to be mainly used for plug trays, so which used to consist of a water pipe boom that extends from one side of the greenhouse bay to the other, so it can able to move from one end to another. The pipe is said to be fitted with nozzles that can be spray either water or fertilizer solution down onto the crop. So it is good at the nursery one, and the boom is said to be attached at center of its carriage so that it can able to ride along one into another without the suspended walk of the greenhouse bay. So if the water is said to be passed one bay to another, the boom is propelled by the electric motor, so the water of quality is delivered per unit of plant is said to be adjusted by the speed of boom travels. So the next one is drip irrigation. So the drip irrigation is said to be the most common and efficient one when compared to other ways of irrigation, but the major drawback is the initial cost of the drip irrigation is said to be higher than other cultivation. So the it was not able to be done by all the farmers. So while saying about the drip irrigation, they used to be known as the trickle irrigation, which used to consist of laying plastic tubes of small diameter on the surface or subsurface of the field, so the greenhouse beneath and beneath the plants. So the water is delivered to plants at frequent interval through small holes or emitters present in the drip irrigation tubes. So when they are combined with protected agriculture, they use it to act as an integral as well as the essential part of comprehensive design in the greenhouse structures, and it is said to be most used as well as compatible one in plastic mulch, row cover, as well as for uniform application of water and fertilizer in the plants. So it is mostly efficient one, and it also used to give a maximum control over the environment variability. So there is a minimum as well as optimum use of water for the production of quality fruits. So the drip irrigation is said to be best mean of water conservation. They use it to conserve around 70% and 60 to 80% with sprinkler as well as furrow irrigation. So depending on the soil type, the application efficiency used to change. So the water is said to be applied in furrows. The average application efficiency of drip irrigation is 90 to 95%. So the drip irrigation is not only recommended for the protected agriculture but also for the open field crop production. The drip irrigation is said to be the most common means of production. I have already mentioned that the disadvantage is that equipments per acre is said to be higher than other systems. So it used to be not followed by all the farmers. And the final one is mist and foggers. So mist and foggers are mainly used for cooling of the greenhouse, so which used to reasonably increase the relative humidity inside the greenhouse. So it is mainly used in major seedling plants as well as the grafted plants. The fogs and misters are said to be done. So while seeing about their structure, the foggers are said to be connected with the laterals with a micro tube which is used to hang around the iron pipe in the greenhouse about 3 meter. So the misters are attached to the stakes in bed. So it is the difference between foggers and misters. The foggers are said to be present in the upper side of the greenhouse. The misters are said to be attached in the stakes in bed. So the foggers and mister, which is all used to have the same spray size of around 70 micron of water, so which is said to be evaporated before falling on crop canopy. So the operating pressure of the fogger and mister varies from 3 to 5 kg per centimeter square, and the general time of operation of fogger and misters are around 30 to 60 seconds, which can be done 3 to 4 times in an hour at a specific interval of time. So the relative humidity in the greenhouse can be maintained with the help of misters and foggers. So I have given the lecture notes and description. Please comment out the video and join us in the Instagram page. If you like the video, like it and share it with your friends, and subscribe to BSc Agriculture and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. So thanks for watching the video. I will catch up in next videos.